Hi everybody, back out at the field again today for take two with my Dollar Tree Foam RC Powers F18 version 5 that I made quite a few modifications to. Today, just to see if it made a difference in the high alpha, I dropped a heavier motor in it. This is the Grayson Hobby Super Mega Jet, which is kind of an old school motor. It was kind of the king of motors until the NTM prop drive really came into play. I also put a 40 amp speed controller in it. The battery, I left the battery the same place. I moved the speed controller about 2 inches further forward than where it was with my other setup. So the plane gained a little bit of weight. It's now at 21.9 ounces where it was 20.6 the last time I videotaped it. Didn't buy a whole lot of high alpha performance, but that's okay. I've got other planes that are good for high alpha, but I'm liking the extra weight. I think it feels a little smoother, and I'm hoping today's dead calm, but I'm hoping in the wind it'll help a little bit. So anyway, let's give her a thrash, and I'll talk some more about my throws and stuff after we land. So I'm running Master Airscrew 6x4x3 prop on the Super Mega Jet. Moves it along really nicely. It actually in bench testing only draws just under 30 amps, so I don't know, I might be able to go with the 30 amp speed controller. Oh, that was a goofy loop. What did I do there? Didn't do it right anyway. Okay, you're gonna pay for your sins and pull a little G or pilot. So fortunately, I was worried with these straight wing planes like the F18. When I know the F18 version 3, I built my first one way too heavy and then watched the wing actually snap in the air because the wing loading was too high. So I was a bit worried about the extra weight, but I've been doing some serious yanking and banking here, and I haven't seen any flex at all in the wing. I did use, so let's see if I can't do a nicer loop there this time. There you go, sports fans. I used 4mm carbon rod for my two wing spars in front of and behind the prop slot instead of 3mm carbon tube, and of course that stuff is super strong, so I think that helps a lot. So my top end speed I think is about the same as when I had the DYS 2600 kV motor in it. You know, the Super Mega Jet is it's a 2550 kV motor, cranks out some pretty good power. It's a bigger motor. I think I measured it one time. The can anyway, I think it's a 28 by 34 or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the stator dimensions are, but all right. Haha. So in sorting out my throws too, I've been playing around a little bit with flaps here, so let's see if I can't do a I don't know, a little softer landing maybe than yesterday. Compensates for the extra weight. So I'll just leave the flaps deployed there. I think I've got about 3/8. No, that looks probably closer to 1/2 inch of flap on there. One of the mods I did make was I made the ailerons bigger than stock, so I think they're, I don't know, anywhere between 30 and 40% more than stock. So anyway, just to look at my throws now, I've got about 1.25 inches, I think, in the pitch. You can see those aren't real huge elevons. But what I like to do is I like to find sort of just enough throw for the way I like to fly. I normally put about 10% more in the elevator, you know, just in case I got to really go, oh, you know, holy cow, and, you know, hammer on the elevator to keep from hitting something. What I found with this plane, it might be easier to demonstrate while I'm holding it, was the rolls initially were kind of imbalanced. And what was happening is I'd go into a roll and it would do, I guess it's hard for me to demonstrate, but it wouldn't roll axially. It was kind of just a goofy kind of roll. So what I started playing with was, normally in most of my planes, you know, I'll run like 40%, whatever I have in my elevons, I'll run about 40% of that in my ailerons. So what I started playing around with was I reduced the roll deflection in the elevons and increased it in the ailerons until I got a nice balanced axial roll. So now actually I have about the same amount of throw. It's around 3/4 of an inch in both the elevon and the aileron, and it seems to roll nice and axially, certainly better than it did before. So I've only got about 5/8 of an inch of travel in my rudders there. I've got one rudder servo that's a little slower. I'll have to check and see, maybe something's binding there, but good, you know, very good yaw authority. So let me just show you what's going on inside here. So yeah, so my I know it might be hard for you to see down inside there, but this line here, that's where I had the battery yesterday. My speed controller, my 30 amp speed controller, was back here. So the 40 amp speed controller weighs, I think, about 7 or 8 grams more than the 30 amp I was using. So I shoved that nearly 2 inches further forward, left the battery where it was. So it still feels good and balanced. Again, this motor is, she's pretty beefy compared to the one that I was using, but I like the power. I like the extra weight. So I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. The wing seems to be able to handle the loading no problem. It doesn't feel any heavier or more sluggish on the sticks. So like I said, I used, this is a 4mm carbon rod, so very strong and solid. And I used a piece of 4mm carbon rod. You can just see it here ahead of the motor mount. So you know, it's a really strong, stiff wing with the KF4s, and then of course the paper left on the Dollar Tree foam makes for a good strong wing. So yeah, I didn't see any wing flex there at all so far. So I'm hoping, like I said, the extra weight will help it have a little bit more presence in the wind. One thing I find with any plane that have the angled vertical stabilizers, you know, F-18, F-35, F-22, is they do tend to bobble a lot more in the wind, just probably because of the angle. So I'm hoping that the extra ounce and a bit might help that, although, you know, it wasn't noticeable today because it's dead calm and cold still air. So anyway, so yeah, nothing, no big news on the high alpha front, but that's fine. I'm really happy with the rest of the flight envelope of this little beauty, so I'm gonna keep it this way and just keep flying the wings off it. So thanks very much for watching, folks. Blue skies and calm winds to everyone. Gotta like this old classic motor, eh? Super Mega Jet. Gotta be, anything with Super Mega Jet written on it's gotta be good, right? Just like turbo. Anything that's turbo has gotta be better. Anyway, blue skies, calm winds to everyone. Park jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care.